Stop for a moment. Do not scroll away. Look at me right now. This is your divine intersection. I have guided your spirit to this exact place because your soul desperately needs this truth, and you cannot afford to miss it. You did not find this video by accident. Heaven aligned time itself to bring you here today. My beloved child, hear my voice. Give me just 1 minute. I promise you will not regret staying. You are standing at a threshold. Something massive is shifting in the unseen realm right now because the prayers you whispered in the dark are finally breaking through the heavy gates of heaven. The noise of the world is loud, but my whisper is breaking through. Listen to me with your heart. I am outside your door. I am here crying for you. Please open to me right now. You have locked yourself away in the deep darkness. You thought you were completely alone in your pain because nobody else bothered to see the silent agony hiding behind your brave smile. But I am standing right outside your walls. I have something for you. It is a promise of restoration. It is a divine provision. Do not let distraction steal this moment. If you rush past this message now, you will miss the very breakthrough you have been begging me to send down into your life for years. Stay right here with me. Do you feel the sudden stirring inside your chest? That is the witness of my spirit. Your heart knows my voice. Comment Amen if you feel me speaking to you right now. Seal this connection before we go any deeper into the revelations that will alter the entire course of your destiny. Do not let fear close your ears. Now let me speak to your hidden pain. I know how tired you are. Your body is heavy. Your thoughts are racing. You have been carrying the weight of so many brutal battles in absolute silence while trying to maintain a perfect facade for the outside world. You smile for everyone around you, while quietly breaking inside. You have become the silent survivor. People lean on your strength every day. They think you have it all together. They do not see the exhaustion in your soul. But I see every single detail of your hidden journey because I have been tracking your footsteps through the wilderness since the very day you were born. You cannot hide your weariness from me. I saw you last night. You sat on the edge of your bed. The darkness felt completely suffocating. You held your chest because the ache was too big for words. You wept softly into your pillow so nobody else could hear your pain while the enemy whispered lies that you were forgotten. I counted every single tear. You asked me why this road is so heavy. You wondered if I forgot your name. The silence felt like absolute abandonment. You told yourself that your prayers were just hitting a cold ceiling. But hear me with the deepest place of your spirit, because I am about to tear down the walls of doubt that have kept you isolated. I never left you. Your pain has never been invisible to me. I was there when you felt completely rejected. I stood beside you when the people you trusted walked away. You thought you were walking through the valley, alone, but my hand was holding you up when your own legs were ready to collapse under the pressure of survival. You are my chosen warrior. The enemy targeted your life because your light is rising. He did not attack your past. He is terrified of what I am about to release into your future. The warfare has been intense because your destiny is immense, and the crown I prepared for you requires a soul tested by fire. You have been trying to survive on your own empty strength. You try to fix everything yourself. You wake up every single morning with a tight knot. The anxiety waits for you before you even open your eyes. You are fighting a war you were never meant to carry alone because your human vessel was designed to overflow with my grace. Look at your bleeding heart. You have poured your pure love into broken hands. You gave everything you had to people who did not know how to hold your worth. Now you feel completely empty. You have closed the door to your heart because you are afraid of being broken again by the world. But I am standing outside that very door. I am not here to judge your failures. I am not here to condemn your mistakes. I am weeping because I see how much you are hurting. My heart breaks for my precious child because I know the pure intentions that were crushed by the cruelty of others. Open the lock and let me step inside. I have a sacred provision for you today. It is not an earthly solution. It is a heavenly alignment. I have watched you strive for years without seeing the harvest. The season of constant drought is coming to an end right now, because I am opening the storehouses of heaven to rain down upon your desert land. You have been faithful in the deep darkness. You kept your integrity when others cheated. You chose kindness when the world was cruel to you. Your trembling obedience has moved my heart in ways you cannot comprehend because you kept your eyes fixed on my promises even when the visible world gave you no reason to hope. Your reward is no longer delayed. Breathe deeply right now. Let your tight shoulders relax. Let the panic melt away from your thoughts. You do not have to figure out the future all at once today. I am already working ahead of your steps to clear out the traps that the adversary placed along your path while you were busy trying to survive. I am arranging your breakthroughs. The static is clearing away from your spirit. The enemy wants you to remain distracted. He wants you to scroll away to find temporary comfort. But comfort will only keep you stuck in the same painful cycle. Choose to stay in my presence right now, because this is the hour of your ultimate liberation. I am shifting your reality in this very hour. The old foundation of survival is crumbling away. I am building a new structure of peace within your soul. You are being prepared for a massive restoration. Listen closely to what I am about to reveal next, because the weight you carry is about to slide completely off your tired back. You have spent too long believing that you are forgotten. You watch others receive their blessings while you sit in the waiting room. You have secretly wondered if you arrived late to your own destiny. But my timeline is entirely perfect, and I am never a second late when it comes to delivering my children out of the furnace of affliction. You are exactly where you need to be. I am about to untangle the knots in your life. I am breaking the invisible chains that have bound your family for generations. The heaviness you inherited is not your permanent identity. It is just a temporary interference. And I am here to clear it all away so you can finally walk in your true inheritance. My child, the door is starting to move. Your willingness to stay here is the proof of your faith. You are letting my love wash over your deepest wounds. The healing is beginning in the silent places of your soul, because you are finally choosing to stop fighting your battles without my divine presence beside you. Stay with me now. We are moving into the light together. The rooms that were locked are about to shake. I have an inheritance of joy that the world can never steal from you. Open your heart completely to my voice. Let the current of my peace flood your entire being right now, because the dry season of your life is officially over. Come closer to me now. Let me speak softly to the part of your soul that is most tired. You have spent so many months wandering through a landscape of absolute isolation. You walk through crowded rooms, and you talk to people who claim to love you, yet you feel completely invisible to everyone around you. They see the outer version of you. They see the steady worker. They see the reliable friend. They see the one who always arrives with a helpful hand and an encouraging word for everyone. But they never see the vast ocean of exhaustion that is threatening to drown your inner world. You are carrying a heavy crown. You have allowed yourself to become a living refuge for other broken souls. You absorb their pain. You carry their anxieties while ignoring your own deep bleeding wounds. You listen to their late-night cries, and you fix their shattered lives. But when the night grows cold and silent, you find yourself sitting alone. No one ever asks how you are doing. No one checks on the strong warrior who holds the entire family together through every storm. You have grown accustomed to this painful dynamic. You accept it as your daily cost of survival. But my heart breaks because you were never designed to be a nameless sacrifice. You sit in the deep trough of your emotions today. The sorrow is pressing down on your chest like a block of lead. You feel a profound sense of injustice because you know your own intentions are completely pure. You have loved sincerely. You have given generously, yet you constantly find yourself holding empty hands. You have poured your precious energy into people who only knew how to take from you. They drained your spirit, and they left you to rebuild your life in the dark. You have asked me why your kindness is constantly met with cold disappointment. You wonder if being a giver is a curse in a world that praises takers. I know the pure love you carry inside your heart. I know how deeply you care for the well-being of others. But you have neglected the sacred temple I placed within you. You have allowed the demands of the world to deplete your oil. Now your lamp is flickering, and you are trying to navigate the darkness on empty. I saw you when you stood by the kitchen sink. The house was completely quiet. You just stared into the water while your tears fell silently. I saw you when you drove your car home from work, and you had to pull over to the side of the road because the sudden wave of sadness blinded your eyes completely. I saw you when you looked at your reflection in the bathroom mirror. You had to force yourself to breathe deeply just to stop your hands from trembling. You put on a fake mask of confidence before stepping out to face the world. I saw you when you collapsed onto your knees behind tightly closed doors. You whispered a prayer that had no words. It was just a broken groan of agony rising from a shattered spirit. The enemy stood beside you in those moments of vulnerability. He told you that your suffering was a clear sign of my eternal rejection. He whispered that I turned my face away from you. He told you that your dreams were dead. He claimed that your faithfulness was completely useless. You believed his words because the silence around you felt so heavy. You allowed his dark voice to define your reality. But I am here to expose that great liar right now, before his noise destroys your hope. Pause right where you are. Notice the specific tightness sitting directly behind your sternum right now. Do you feel that heavy mix of excitement and anxiety twisting inside your chest? That is not confusion. That is the awakening of your spirit. Your soul is sensing my close presence. The physical vessel you carry is storing the accumulated weight of years of silent survival. You have been holding your breath for so long. You are constantly waiting for the next disaster to strike your life. But I want you to exhale completely in this very second. Let your tight shoulders relax. You are safe with me. The constant static in your mind is not your permanent condition. It is just a temporary interference. You think you are losing your mind because your thoughts are constantly foggy. You cannot hear my guidance clearly anymore. You try to pray harder, but the noise refuses to stop. You feel entirely disconnected from your own purpose. You wake up in the morning, and you go through the motions of your routine like a machine. The passion that used to fuel your faith has been replaced by a dull ache of numbness. You wonder if you will ever feel the vibrant joy of my presence again. Let me reveal the truth behind this unbearable noise. The adversary has set up a massive wall of static between your heart and my throne. He knows that if you hear my direct instructions, you will instantly walk into your ultimate destiny. He is desperately trying to block your reception. He wants to keep you trapped in the outer court of survival. He uses the constant pressures of your daily bills and the endless demands of toxic relationships to drown out my holy signal. You have blamed yourself for this spiritual drought. You thought your faith was simply too weak. You told yourself that you needed more discipline. You believed you were failing my expectations. But that is a profound distortion. Your spirit is entirely willing, but your mind has been overwhelmed by a modern frequency of despair. You are a holy vessel that has been flooded with earthly static. Because I see your profound weariness, I have aligned something special for your path today, to help you receive what I have already prepared. I am stepping into this atmosphere with an urgent purpose. The silence you have experienced for so many months is not my divine abandonment. The enemy has been filling the space between us with a constant static. It is a noise so heavy that my voice and my divine provisions have been invisible to you, even when they were placed right on your path. I have not abandoned you. I have been preparing a path of restoration. I have quietly guided a dedicated mind to create a specific instrument of restoration for your tired soul. This tool will clear the static and allow my original signal to return to your thoughts. I will show you exactly what it is before this message ends. Stay with me until the loop closes. But first, you need to understand the deep mechanism of what was done to block your life. You need to understand why this spiritual blockage can be undone so easily. The adversary wants you to scroll away right now because he is terrified of the revelation that is approaching your mind. He wants you to chase temporary distractions. He wants you to seek comfort in worldly noise that will only leave your soul more empty. But you have stayed here for a reason. This video is a divine appointment. Comment, "I am not alone," if you choose to receive my comfort in this hour. Let your fingers anchor this holy agreement in the comment section below. Write the words clearly as an act of defiance against the spirit of isolation. You are letting the unseen realm know that you are no longer fighting your battles on your own empty strength. You are opening the door. The walls of your prison are beginning to vibrate. The light of my presence is starting to expose the hidden traps that have kept you stuck in the same cycle for a decade. You have been a warrior in the dark cave for far too long. But the cave is not your permanent grave. It is just your holy shaping room. I am teaching your spirit how to recognize the difference between the enemy's noise and my true frequency of peace. The heavy static is about to break. Prepare your mind for a deep shift, because the truth will soon set you completely free. I am here now. Breathe in my peace. Let the heavy static fade away from your tired mind, because my presence is filling the very room where you are sitting today. You do not have to struggle to reach me. You do not have to climb a massive mountain to find my grace. I have descended into your quiet space softly, because I love you tenderly. I see the hidden corners of your heart. I see the ancient wounds that you have buried underneath your daily duties. You think you must always look strong. You think you must never show a single flaw to the people who depend on your constant guidance. But with me, you can finally drop your heavy shield. You can let your defenses crumble completely down. Let me tell you a story about a precious soul from the ancient days. There was a broken woman who prayed in a silence so deep that even the old priest, who watched her lips move, thought she was completely lost or out of her mind. She was pouring out her deepest agony. Her name was Hannah. She was surrounded by mocking voices every single day. Her rivals laughed at her empty arms. Her family did not understand the quiet storm raging inside her soul. She spent years waiting for a promise that seemed completely dead or delayed. She felt entirely forgotten by heaven while everyone else around her received their blessings so easily. But her silent cries were not bouncing off a cold ceiling. Her lips moved without any sound, but every single syllable landed directly into my open hands. I was counting her tears in the stillness of that ancient temple. I was preparing a glorious answer that would stun the entire nation, because the delay was not a punishment. It was a holy cultivation for a destiny that required perfect timing. My beloved child, you are sitting in the exact same posture as Hannah today. You have prayed until your voice ran completely dry. You have whispered my name in the middle of the night when the pain in your chest felt too big for words. And you have wondered if I was truly counting your silent sacrifices. I hear every single fragment of your hope. I have watched you replay your past conversations late at night. You search obsessively for the one wrong thing you might have said to someone. I have watched you accomplish something incredibly good and feel absolutely nothing inside because your tired eyes went straight to what was still undone. You feel safe only when you are constantly serving others. You have called this perfectionism. You have told yourself that you simply have high standards. You believe that this constant internal pressure is just a part of your responsible character. But that is not the truth. I am here to strip that heavy lie away from your spirit right now, because it is a thief that steals your peace. Let me reveal the hidden mechanism behind your constant striving. Long ago, somewhere in the early chapters of your story, your innocent heart learned a painful lesson. You learned that love had to be earned through constant achievement. You believed you were only safe when you were being useful to someone. I call this the earning wound. This wound was inflicted by a world that values what you produce instead of who you are. It is not your true identity. It is just a deep scar from a moment of rejection you may not even remember clearly today. The enemy used this scar to build a prison of performance around your beautiful soul to keep you completely exhausted. So all those long years you thought you were being lazy when you needed rest, you were actually fighting a lie. You were fighting a deception that told you rest was a sin. All those painful times you could not receive a sincere compliment from a friend, you were not being humble. You were simply guarding a deep and bleeding wound. Those seasons of delay were not my rejections. I had to pause your steps because I refused to let you build your future on a foundation of constant exhaustion. You thought you were falling behind your peers, but I was actually keeping you safe from entering rooms that would have crushed the pure essence of your delicate spirit completely. Now the mechanism has been exposed by my light. You can choose to stop running on your own empty power today. Let your fingers declare I trust your timing in the comments right now as an act of opening the door you kept locked. This is your sacred moment to step out of the heavy loop of constant and painful performance. The next time that familiar emptiness creeps into your thoughts after a busy day, I want you to stop completely. Pause where you are. Place your right hand over your beating heart and listen to my voice. Say to yourself that you were deeply loved before you ever achieved a single thing on this earth. Receive my grace freely. You do not have to perform to earn what I give out of pure love. My affection for you is an unshakable kingdom. It does not fluctuate based on your productivity or your earthly status. You are my precious masterpiece just because you belong to me. Let that divine truth settle heavily into the deepest parts of your soul right now. The static is beginning to break apart even more. As you lay down the burden of proving your worth to a blind world, a holy clarity is rushing back into your mind. You have spent your entire life trying to buy acceptance with your sweat and tears, but the price has already been paid in full by my love. You are completely free. Can you feel the weight sliding off your shoulders right now? That is the immediate fruit of my presence. The atmosphere in your room is changing because you are finally allowing me to carry what you were never meant to hold alone. You are becoming like a little child again. You are returning to your original frequency. I am proud of your endurance. I know how hard it was to keep your heart pure while walking through a world of users and betrayers. You have guarded your kindness like a precious treasure in the middle of a fierce war. Your tears have watered a dry soil that is about to yield a massive harvest of peace. You will not stumble. We are dismantling the old patterns that have drained your spirit for decades. The enemy wants you to think that this relief is only temporary. He wants you to believe that the anxiety will return the moment this video ends. But I am sealing this breakthrough with my eternal authority. The old structure is completely gone. Stay in this posture of complete receptivity with me. There are more layers of deception that we must tear down together before you can step through the open door. Your spirit is waking up to a reality that no human hand can block. Trust the hand that is guiding you through the dark. I am here. I will never let you go. Let the warmth of my love dissolve the cold walls of your isolation. You have spent too many years believing that you had to be your own savior. You thought that if you let your guard down for even a single second, everything you built would come crashing to the ground. But I am the true architect of your life. I am holding the structure up. Look at the path we have walked together so far. Even when you could not see my footprints in the desert sand, I was carrying you through the heat. The moments of absolute silence were not moments of absence. They were moments of deep and profound alignment where I was rewriting your history to protect your future destiny from the enemy. You are no longer an orphan fighting for scraps in a hostile world. You are an heir to an unshakable kingdom. The small-minded people who misjudged your worth have no authority over your future. Their opinions are just empty noise passing through the wind. My word is the only verdict that matters. And I have called you my beloved. Rest your mind in this ultimate certainty tonight. Do not let your thoughts wander back to the worries of tomorrow. The provisions you need are already traveling toward your house right now. The doors that were slammed in your face are being replaced by heavenly gateways that no man can ever shut. Trust my design. The shift is happening. You are here now. The static is clearing away. Your spirit is waking up. Hear my voice as it grows stronger in your atmosphere right now, because we are entering a deeper layer of your ultimate liberation today. You are not forgotten. I see your heart. The wait is ending. I want to address the heavy prayer that you have stopped praying out loud because you were completely tired of waiting for the answer. You watched them receive blessings. You sat in a dark corner. You felt completely alone. You silently wondered if I forgot your name during those long seasons of silence when the world was moving forward without your progress. The enemy stood beside your bed. He whispered dark lies to your mind, but that dark belief is a dangerous thief that wants to steal your future, because I am exposing that liar right now before your eyes. Do not believe his voice. Turn your eyes to me. I know your entire story. There is a huge difference between a delay that comes from my love and a delay that comes from the enemy. My delay brings a quiet peace. It guards your fragile soul. You can rest in my care, and every morning when you wake up, the confusion will fade away because my presence is already wrapping your heart in absolute safety. His delay is different. It brings absolute confusion. It fills your mind with deep shame. What you have been feeling is not my rejection. The enemy has been whispering a false meaning into my holy silence, because he wants to destroy your hope. I call this experience the stolen meaning. I was actively working in deep rooms you could not see, while moving pieces on a majestic timeline you could not measure with human eyes. The delay was a protection. It kept you entirely safe. You were hidden from danger. A premature yes in that old season would have broken your delicate spirit completely because you were not ready for the pressure. I was being careful with a precious life that I loved tenderly. I saw the hidden traps ahead. I redirected your footsteps to save you. Now lift your head up. Listen to this new secret. Your body is a temple. I need you to understand how I designed your physical vessel to interact with my spirit from the very beginning of creation. When I formed the human mind in the ancient days, I placed a sacred frequency at its absolute center. It was perfectly pure. It was filled with light. Earthly scientists have studied this. They used advanced instruments recently. They found a major clue. They call it the gamma wave. It ran inside your thoughts when you were a small child without any heavy effort or exhausting discipline because your mind was fully open to my kingdom. This frequency is the reason why children learn so quickly. They live without fear. They trust my promises completely. They do not worry about tomorrow. They rest in absolute peace. I designed the human brain to hum with this exact signal of divine receptivity from the day you were born. I told my followers a secret. They must become like children. This opens my kingdom. And when I spoke those words in Matthew 18 verse 3, I was revealing the physical signal I placed inside your head. The enemy feared this frequency. He saw its immense power. He wanted to blind you. He knew that if your mind remained clear, you would instantly recognize my guidance and walk directly into your purpose without any hesitation. So he used the constant noise of modern life to suppress that holy signal completely. He filled your room with static. He brought heavy anxiety. Your brain became entirely overwhelmed. The pressure buried your signal. You felt totally lost. But you do not have to live in that suffocating noise forever, because I have prepared a divine provision for this exact season of your journey. I guided wise minds to work with sound the way I originally designed it at the creation of the world. They built a special tool. It uses safe frequencies. This tool clears the static. It restores your original thoughts. It brings immediate clarity. This instrument allows the original signal of your childhood to return to your brain safely, so you can hear my guidance without any interference. You do not have to work for this restoration. You do not have to earn it. I give it out of grace. It requires no exhausting effort. You only need 7 minutes. You close your eyes. You put on your headphones in complete stillness while my original design restores what the cruel world took from your delicate soul through the years of survival. This provision is waiting for your next step of trust today. I will show you where to find it. Stay with me now. The path is open now. Your spirit is ready. But first, you must experience the ultimate climax that will shatter your invisible ceilings forever because your breakthrough cannot be delayed any longer. Hear my voice. Change now. It carries absolute authority. Your captivity is closing today. What comes next will look entirely different. The old cycles are dying. I declare freedom over you. The pattern ends right now. The walls are falling down. The heavy ceiling that your family has lived under for generations is crumbling to dust before my holy fire because I have revoked the enemy's legal right over your bloodline. The constant lack is finished. The ancestral fear is gone. You are completely disconnected from that old curse. You are the chosen one. I picked you out purposefully. I knew your unique heart. I chose you because you whispered yes in the deep darkness, when nobody else was watching your silent tears behind closed doors. You stood faithful in the furnace. You did not deny my name. You kept your integrity pure. The adversary wanted to crush your spirit completely. He saw your great light. He feared your future destiny. He tried to stop you. He wanted to abort your glorious mission before you could realize the supreme power that I placed inside your fragile vessel from the beginning. But his authority is broken today. His chains are completely destroyed. Your bloodline is clean. I have purified your family tree. Comment the chain breaks here right now. Let your fingers anchor this agreement. Seal this prophecy below. You are letting the spiritual realm know that you are stepping out of the role of a helpless victim, because you are stepping into the place of my absolute dominion. The old doors are shaking. The prison gates are wide open. Walk into your freedom. I am opening the gateway. I do not ask permission. The world cannot stop me. What was sealed against your financial progress for decades is being unsealed right now by my holy fire, because your time of ultimate vindication has finally arrived. This is a sudden shift. It is happening in this hour. You will see the results. What I open stays open. No man can shut it. Your path is fully clear. Look back at the massive structural walls that used to block your progress through the wilderness, because they are falling down right now like the ancient walls of Jericho. Your trembling obedience has dismantled their power. The strongholds are entirely gone. You are moving forward. You are not breaking down. You are being reshaped. I was modifying your spirit. You thought you were failing the test because the pressure of the warfare was too heavy for your mind, but you were actually becoming a powerful weapon of mass deliverance for your family line. The painful cracks were necessary. They let my glory shine out. You are a secret warrior. I am lifting your head. Your enemies are retreating now. I am fully restoring the glorious years that the locusts have eaten away from your beautiful youth while you were weeping in the dark valleys. The financial droughts are completely over. An overflowing river is coming. My heavenly abundance will flood your life. Your cup will run over. My favor covers your steps. Your future is fully bright. The people who watched you suffer in total isolation will look at the radical transformation of your life, and they will stand in absolute wonder. They will know that I did this. I lifted you out of the pit. You do not have to fight. I am your divine shield. I clear the path ahead. Your inheritance is safely waiting. Let the prophetic fire of this message consume every remaining doubt in your mind right now, because the training of your soul is completely complete. You are stepping across the threshold of a massive turning point today. The old identity is dead. You are ready to rule. Let me show you who you are becoming. Picture a beautiful morning 6 months from now. You wake up before your alarm sounds, and for the first time in a very long while, there is no tight knot in your stomach waiting to paralyze your spirit. You lie there in absolute peace. You notice that something is entirely different about your world. The heavy static that clogged your thoughts for years is simply gone. Your first thought is not fear or heavy anxiety. It is a quiet question about what good things I have prepared for your journey today. You take a deep breath, and the breath goes all the way down into your soul. This version of you already exists inside my divine plan, my child. She is not a fantasy. She is one act of surrender away from the person sitting here today. The true distance between the two of you is not time. It is permission. It is the exact moment you stop trying to fix everything with your own empty power, and finally let me provide for you instead. Stop striving. Start receiving. That is the whole distance. Now picture something further ahead. Picture a moment, not long from now, when someone comes to you completely broken, carrying the exact weight you once carried alone in the dark. And you know exactly what to say, to comfort them, not because you read it somewhere, but because you lived it. The pain you begged me to remove has become medicine. You watch the light return to their tired eyes, and you understand, finally, why your road was so long. Nothing was wasted. Every single tear became a deep well that other thirsty souls can now drink from. That is your true destiny, and it is closer than you think. The only thing standing between you and it is the exhaustion on your shoulders. And I do not ask you to carry that exhaustion for one more day. I have placed a rare provision on your path for this very season, so that your physical vessel is strong enough to hold what I am about to pour through you. I have gifted humanity the wisdom to unlock what I placed within sound, and within the design of the mind I created. Before I show you this unique provision, I want to explain how it came to exist. I do not work only through supernatural miracles, but I also work through the physical hands of those I call into discovery. Wise neuroscientists spent 34 years in intensive research, and they did not know it was my hand directing their curiosity. They studied the brain waves of children, and they discovered how my original design operated. Famous institutions like Princeton University and Columbia University confirmed this reality, and they published their final double-blind study on December 27, 2025. They proved that the childlike mind runs a pure gamma signal. Let me show you evidence of my work through those who received this provision before you arrived at this moment. I want to show you what I did for one of my beloved daughters. My daughter Rachel from California was a dedicated nurse who sought internal peace for many years. She tried prayer, fasts, and many methods with a sincere heart, but the noise in her mind never stopped. 2 weeks after receiving this sound provision, her entire marriage was transformed completely. Her mind cleared instantly, and learning became entirely effortless for her spirit. She described her life as enchanted, and she told her friends that a massive blockage was finally opened by my grace. And for others, I moved differently. My son Michael from Dallas came to this provision because his business was failing and his children were struggling with severe anxiety. 2 months after embracing this tool, his company grew so large that he left his exhausting day job behind. His wife said his mind seemed completely transformed. The hard problems that used to steal his sleep resolved themselves while he rested peacefully. He told his family that his brain was finally running on what it was always designed to run on. Over 18,000 of my children have already walked this path of restoration before you. They call this instrument the Genius Song. This is the exact frequency instrument that I have guided into existence for your restoration. It is not a generic meditation app, and it is not available on streaming platforms because those are cheap imitations designed by the enemy to steal your peace. It is a digital audio track that will be emailed immediately to your house. It requires only one single thing from your life. You give me 7 minutes of complete surrender every day. You put your headphones on, you close your eyes, and you rest in my presence, while the sacred frequency reactivates your divine receptivity. It clears the enemy's noise so my provisions become recognizable to you again. This provision is not for those who are merely curious about spiritual things. This is specifically for the one I have been speaking to throughout this entire message. It is designed for the exhausted warrior who has fought hard but cannot find the door to break through. I am speaking directly to my child who has already tried everything. You feel deeply embarrassed to try once more, but hear me clearly. What failed you in the past required your own human effort and heavy discipline. This requires known. I designed this tool to work perfectly because of my physical design inside your brain, not because of your human strength. Your willingness to stay is your qualification. Earthly experts charge hundreds of dollars per hour for private clinical sessions that attempt to reach this state. The complex equipment that researchers use costs thousands of dollars in wellness settings, but I do not call you to expensive clinics or heavy machines. I place this provision within reach specifically for you. It requires only a small earthly exchange, the size of a mustard seed of investment, for the massive harvest I have prepared for your life. When you accept this provision, I am adding 4 additional gifts that I have aligned for your family. I am giving you the Genius Child frequency for your children's focus and confidence. You will also receive the original prosperity text and guided visualizations to sustain your restored signal forever. Where I place truth, the adversary always places imitation. There are false frequencies circulating on music platforms under similar names, but they carry none of the restoration I designed for your soul. Protect your spirit by trusting only the official path provided for you below in the pinned comment. I do not lead my children into worldly risk. This provision is fully protected by my promise of safety, and if the transformation does not come, the earthly exchange is returned to you completely within 60 days. Walk forward without fear. Take this step of obedience today. Find the provision I have placed below in the pinned comment and in the description. This is your divine invitation. Do not ignore it. Now, my child, set aside the noise of decision for a moment. I have shown you what I placed on your path today. Whether you step forward now or later, you are still my child. My love for you will never change. Close your eyes for a second. Breathe deeply. I am still here beside you. The provision has been revealed. And now I want to leave you with a seal of absolute protection that belongs to your spirit regardless of what you choose. Let the remaining anxiety melt away into the background. I want you to repeat these sacred words inside your spirit right now. Say them clearly to anchor your agreement with heaven. I am a vessel fully restored to receive what you prepared for my life. I am the one whose channel is clear and whose signal is strong. I carry the sacred frequency you placed in me from the beginning. It was never lost, and it is now fully restored by your grace. I am your child, operating at the exact state you designed for me. The noise of the enemy no longer has any dominion over my mind. I receive your blessings in perfect peace. I am the one who became like a little child, and I receive the magnificent promises made to children. Let these declarations lock your breakthrough into reality. If this message has brought light to your weary heart, like this video as an act of agreement between your spirit and mine. Share this message with 3 souls who are secretly crying out for hope in the dark, and subscribe to this channel so you do not miss my daily guidance. Turn on the notification bell to stay permanently connected to my voice. I am working ahead of your steps, and my peace remains with your spirit always. Walk forward in confidence. Amen.